The war to end all wars. Hardly likely. It fascinates me to think that we believed that we could buy peace. The Western model of taming the Russians and the Chinese with McDonald's and Range Rovers was such a pathetic reflection of the story that we have all been sold. Be a good boy and we'll give you a nice car. Do you think that Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping give a damn about your monetary system? The Chinese have been creating the digital version of the yuan, their currency, which was officially launched at the beginning of 2022, but it's already widely accepted in parts of Africa where the Belt and Road Building and Cultural Influencing Programme has been in full swing for years. Russia is being beaten with sanctions, but has been hoarding gold for at least the last 8 years. They also have huge oil and gas reserves. McDonald's, Pepsi, Coca-Cola and Starbucks have all withdrawn their businesses in Russia, simultaneously saving the Russian people from an early grave and making Vladimir Putin let out a huge guffaw. I also won't be watching the Eurovision contest with a takeaway again this year. To match the last 60 other years I haven't done this. Not in solidarity with the Russians, but rather just out of good taste. If you worship money, then having it taken from you might seem like the end of the world. If, however, like Russia, you have a huge supply of oil and 2,300 tons of gold, then it's business as usual. This is a tiger year, and as such we should expect a lot of sabre rattling. I would expect that the Ukrainian story will start to abate in the next few weeks, but take years to solve. No doubt Ukraine will have to settle for a country split in two, with Russia gaining much-needed warm water ports. I think we'll see the Chinese start threatening Taiwan shortly, destabilising the South China Seas, where they've been building forces for a long while. It's been a long time since humanity has been at the brink of extinction. I remember the feeling well as a young man. I awoke one Sunday morning to the sound of an air raid siren. I ran out onto the street to see a few other fearful-looking neighbours. I decided that, come what may, I'd rather pop in to kiss my young son, cuddle up in bed with my wife, and so I returned to sleep. It was a terrifying moment. Our young people are living in the same shadow that we did during the Cold War. But what has actually changed since then? What has actually changed since the Crusades? What has actually changed since the 100-Year War, the Napoleonic Wars, the Boer War, the First World War, or the War to End All Wars, the Second World War, or the Gulf War? The simple answer is that nothing has changed. We can close our eyes and employ some magical thinking to conjure up a new spiritual race of people where love is the guiding power. But at the same time, reality proves that we still love killing and power. If you understand Yin and Yang, then you'll realise that the idea of world peace is just as likely as world destruction. We as a race will never experience world peace. We should stop being surprised that it doesn't occur. There's currently 2 countries slugging it out in the Balkans, with another 193 countries that are not at war in the Balkans, more or less. A huge slice of the world is currently at peace. In Yin and Yang theory, no war would be an astonishing thing. A friend of mine posted a great post on Facebook. The bankers will ensure we stay in debt. The pharmaceutical companies will ensure we stay sick. The weapons manufacturers will ensure we keep going to war. The media will ensure we're prevented from knowing the truth. The government will ensure that all of this is done legally. If we think again of Yin and Yang, then we see that the vested interests that have always been there to some degree will not go away. For every person who wants peace, there's another person who profits from the lack of it. Our friends Vlad and She Who Must Be Obeyed must have looked at Britain withdrawing from the European Union and thought to themselves, Europe has never looked so weak and in disarray. Let's start pushing our empire agendas. In an extraordinary stroke of luck, Brexit, that was beginning to be a disaster as we'd thrown out all of the people who actually wanted to work, suddenly gets a reprieve as we open the doors to Ukrainian refugees and offer them a 3-year work visa and cheap housing. Phew, that was close. Look forward to lovely Ukrainian waiters, cleaners and fruit pickers coming to a job near you. No doubt they'll all have PhDs that we won't recognise, forcing them to take jobs that we don't want to do. Ho-hum. If you upset the European apple cart, don't be surprised to find bruised apples and egos all over the place. So here we are in the 21st century, praying for peace, but still expecting war. Don't stop praying for peace, because it seems that we are just as likely to slip to World War III as we are to slide to peace. It needs all the efforts of the good people to keep us from the edge. If you live in Britain as I do, then we should also pray for heart and not money. The UK is the casino of the world. We say one thing and we do completely another. Roman Abramovich was welcomed with open arms, and then when it became time to look at who he really was, he was suddenly not welcome anymore. We all knew that our government knew who they were getting to bed with, but they'd rather have all his dirty money floating around the UK than in Monaco or New York. We, as a country, will dance with the devil at every opportunity. But as they say in Scotland, if you sup with the devil, use a long spoon. I suspect that the spoon will not have been long enough to save a few careers. When we look deeply, the truth will out and heads will roll. What of 2022 then, the year that it would all get better? As per usual, the yang will follow the yin and the yang will return again in cycle. Humans move forward, but only in our minds. We live longer, we master our biology, we create ever bigger and more impressive technologies, simultaneously presaging the next extinction event. Be happy, my friends. You are God. You are the consciousness of our entire universe. When somebody loses their temper and knocks all the pieces off the chessboard, we can just start again and play this amazing, fun game of life all over. Nothing matters. In the meantime, smile, be happy, love your family, be kind to the dog. Haola. It means everything is exactly as it should be right now. Or, as a wise singing fish once told me, don't worry, be happy now.